Om Skandaya Nama. Good morning, Zanzi, and welcome to another blissful episode of Sadhana, the Inward Path. On the show today, we take in the sights and sounds of the recent Thaipoosum Kavady festival in Shallcross. And later on, we touch base with Anuradha on conscious cooking, Kugan on yoga for wellness, and Lokeshji on the Ramayan, a blueprint for daily living. Kavady in South Africa is observed amidst an atmosphere of piety, prayer, and penance. For 50 years now, this has been faithfully observed by the Shallcross Tamil Society at their Shri Siva Subramoniar Alayam. Sadhana joined them for their annual Thaipoosum Kavady and learnt more of their phenomenal 50 years.
The Thaipoosum Kavady is both a vivid celebration of colours and a fascinating display of faith. The 10-day festival, dedicated to the worship of Lord Muruga, is one of the largest celebrated Hindu festivals in South Africa. The powerful, unifying force of Kavady attracts interest from little children to youth, adults, and the elderly, and cuts across linguistic and economic divides. The Shri Siva Subramoniar Alayam in Shallcross has been drawing thousands of devotees to its annual Kavady festival over its 50-year existence.
Our audience that normally grace us with our devotees from across the band of Hinduism, with the diversity that we have amongst the Hinduism and the Hindu culture system, on our first day, which is the flag hoisting, which will take place on the 22nd of January, we expect around 3,000 people to be present. This year heralds a significant role in society, where the Shallcross Tamil Society is now 50 years old. We've been serving the community from 1968, and we are extremely proud this year to be celebrating with our Thaipoosum Kavady prayer.
Devotees congregate in large numbers over the 10-day period to offer their prayers as they circle around the temple, carrying with them sattvic offerings of milk and fruit as a mark of adoration for God.
What happens normally during Thaipoosum Kavady, a number of youth actually converge on the temple premises from day one. In the future, we're also looking at initiatives to bring youth in to take an active participation in all facets of running a temple organization. What we want to do during the course of this year is to invite youth in and find out from them exactly what they want to do. We want to ask youth what is their participation in the temple that will actually give them the satisfaction of being part of this organization. And I think it's important that we listen to the youth. It's also important for us to bring them into the forefront.
Right from the day flag hoisting, the prayer itself, the number of devotees that come and the actual flag hoisting, the vibration is what really stands out for us. The vibration, you feel that, that Muruga is there in front of you, and when the flag is going up.
The Thaipoosum, all the temples of Muruga is the full moon starting, the full moon before 10 days, the flag rising, the festival, our festival Hinduism, the moon is important. The moons following the moon's full moon is the ending full moon, the full moon ending the prayer. That stars follow the stars too. The example is Thaipoosum is the Paurnami and Thaipoosum stars all together coming. That's why the Thaipoosum is a Muruga celebrating. One of the Muruga is the star sports Thaipoosum. That Mahotsavam called that 10 days in the flag rising. Some certain temples, evening and morning, some people temple do that. That's a decide to when Thaipoosum long hours got that day, that's a celebrating Thaipoosum.
The flag is raised on the first day of the festival and serves as a constant reminder to devotees to rise above the temptations of the material world to attain a state of higher spiritual consciousness.
वैराग्याय नमः ईश्वराय नमः भक्ताय नमः ओम ध्वजदेवताभ्यो नमः ओम सूर्याय नमः ओम Chandraya Namaha.
When we started, we had very little Kavadis, but as the years went by, we just grew and grew, and we have a lot of Hindi-speaking people that carry Kavadi as well, and it's just growing by the day.
The festival, like all other Hindu festivals, is a celebration of the universal themes of good over evil and light over darkness.
This is a very proud of the South Africa. Is a Muruga the festival is a very big celebrating. There's a first is the proud in the Hinduism. The South Africa is the Muruga is praying to Muruga.
Kavadi, we normally have between 900 to 1,000 people carrying Kavadis, palkodums and pulling the chariots. That alone on that particular day draws in a crowd between 6,000 to 8,000 people on that particular day.
I saw a lot of changes in people that carried Kavadis, and some of them, they come here just to have their trances. Some don't have trance and they have it in there and they have to take it out. And yes, Guru, after everyone is ready and he starts to bless all the Kavadis, and then you find that the devotees are having their trance and give them a chance to pray at the Kavadi, and after that we leave to the temple.
As an act of gratitude, repentance, or as a poignant plea to have their prayers answered, devotees take up their Kavadis and march onto their Lord. Literally meaning sacrifice at every step. Hundreds of devotees walk barefooted along the hot streets bearing marigold-laden Kavadis, faithfully chanting Arohara amidst the beating of drums and vibrant singing.
But our main focus this year is on safety. We also engage the service of the municipality together with the grounds that we need to book on, the Metro Police, the ambulance services, the parks and gardens. All those role plays come into effect on that particular to ensure that our 10 days of Thaipoosum Kavady is a huge success. But the most important thing that we aim for, that the devotee must leave this temple feeling blessed, feeling that they've really been treated well, and we as officials of the temple have then done our job.
As the devotees return to the temple, their 10-day journey culminates in the ritualistic bathing or Abhishekam of Lord Muruga with milk.
Abhishekam, the milk is a pew, that's you carrying the pew, Muruga, offering to the Muruga, Abhishekam. That milk bring you all the sickness, all the health, improve, come that Muruga blessing too. That's a Murti, all the Murtis, our Hinduism, that's a Murti is the power of God. To the Ashtabandhanam, to Muruga is God. All the Jandras, all the powers, Muruga is Abhishekam, after take the milk drink, you good blessing.
After undertaking the Kavadi fast and performing their sadhana, devotees are seen to have cleansed themselves of their own inner impurities and present themselves before their Lord as pure and virtuous as milk.
Aril Tadandol Valga, Armuham Valga, Vipek Kurusei, Tanivel Valga, Kukudam Valga Sevel, Area Manya Valga, Yanathan Anangum Valga, Marila, Valli Valga, Valga Siradiar Lam. Trichidam, Vetrivel Muruganak Aruga.
More than just a prayer of thanksgiving, a penance for forgiveness, or a plea for divine grace, Kavady is that important festival which transforms the devotee and elevates him into a path of higher consciousness.